rain.
Some people say country music has always been the same. They're wrong. There was one decade that broke every rule Nashville ever made, where outlaws took over, where songs stopped being pretty and started being true.
If I should stay.
Songs that made grown men pull over their trucks and sit in the dark. This is not just a countdown, this is proof. 10 songs, one decade, the greatest era country music ever produced. Number 10, Johnny Paycheck, Take This Job and Shove It.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
You know that feeling. Monday morning, you're tired. You've been giving everything and nobody sees it. This song is a war cry for every working person who ever wanted to walk out the door and never look back.
The woman I love just left and took.
Written by David Allan Coe, released on Epic Records, produced by Billy Sherrill, hit number 1 on the Billboard country charts in 1978. It spoke directly for the working man. No filter, no dressing it up.
I've been working for, and don't you try and
Coe wrote it for himself and almost kept it. Paycheck heard it, knew it was his, and recorded it. 2 outlaw spirits, 1 record. You could not manufacture that chemistry. The title became a bumper sticker, a joke, a movie. And somewhere in all that, the real emotion got buried.
stop me, 'cause I'm walking out the door. You can
This was a song about dignity. For your generation, people who built careers with their hands that still hits. But the next song went somewhere much deeper. Somewhere radio tried to keep quiet. Number 9, Sammi Smith, Help Me Make It Through the Night.
Take the ribbon from my hair.
Late night, the quiet kind, room too big, too empty. You're not looking for forever, just tonight. This song said out loud what most people only felt behind closed doors.
Shake it loose and let it.
It's written by Chris Christopherson, released on Mega Records in 1971, hit number 1 country, won Sammi Smith the Grammy for Best Female Country Vocal Performance in 1972. Bold, raw, and ahead of its time.
Playing soft.
Several artists passed on this song. Too forward, too honest. Sammi Smith heard it and saw exactly what it was. Her courage to sing it the way she did is what made it land.
Against your skin, like the shadow.
Her name faded while Christopherson's grew, but it was her voice that made this record. She deserved more. She still does.
On the wall. Come and lay.
The next entry went somewhere completely different and somehow felt just as real.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
If you love real country music and the stories behind the legends, make sure you subscribe to Country Deep Dive. This channel is for people who truly appreciate the roots of country. Many of these country legends are slowly being forgotten, but their stories deserve to live on. By subscribing, you're helping keep their music and legacy alive for the next generation. And if these songs bring back memories for you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It's completely free, and it helps us continue sharing the classic country stories that made this music so special. Every story you see here takes hours of digging, piecing together history and bringing forgotten moments back to life. If you'd like to support that work, you can become a channel member. It's just the cost of a cup of coffee, but it helps us keep these stories alive, and for that, we're grateful. Number 8, Charlie Rich, Behind Closed Doors.
My baby makes me proud. Lord, don't she make.
Not a honky-tonk record. This one sounds like candlelight and slow dancing after everyone else has gone home. 2 people, private, real, theirs.
Me proud.
Written by Kenny Odell, released on Epic Records in 1973, produced by Billy Sherrill, hit number 1, won CMA Song of the Year 1973. Charlie Rich won CMA Male Vocalist and Entertainer of the Year off this record.
She never makes a scene. hanging all over me.
Cheryl left space and the production didn't crowd it. That breathing room is what let Rich's voice do what it did. The song almost sounds effortless. That means somebody worked very hard.
In a crowd.
Rich came from jazz and blues before country. That made him harder to categorize, but it also made him timeless. His catalog still holds up completely. He deserved more of a spotlight than history gave him.
'Cause people like to talk. Lord, don't.
The next song crossed over in a way nobody saw coming and made country music impossible to ignore. Number 7, Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy.
Been walking these streets so long, singing.
The version of the American dream in this song that feels worn around the edges because it is. It's not about the man who made it. It's about the man still fighting to make it.
The same old song. I know every crack.
Still walking the streets, still believing. Glenn Campbell sang it like he knew every mile of that road personally, and in many ways he did.
In these dirty sidewalks of Broadway.
Written by Larry Weiss and released on Capitol Records in 1975, this song hit number 1 on both the Billboard Country and the Billboard Pop charts at the same time. That crossover moment proved that country music could reach an audience far beyond what Nashville had imagined.
Where hustle's the name of the game.
It became one of the best-selling singles of the entire year across all genres. Glenn Campbell was already a respected session musician and TV personality, but this song made him a true star.
And nice guys get washed away like the snow.
Larry Weiss originally recorded this song himself in 1974, but it never connected the way it deserved to. Glenn Campbell heard it and immediately felt it.
And the rain. There's been a low.
He told his label he wanted to record it. They were hesitant. He pushed, they agreed, and the result was one of the biggest country crossover hits in history, a song that almost didn't happen.
Of compromising on the road to.
Sometimes this song gets dismissed as too polished or too commercial compared to the raw outlaw sound that was rising at the same time, but that misses the point. This was a song about perseverance and grit dressed in a bigger coat.
My horizon, but I'm gonna be.
The emotion underneath was as real as anything Waylon or Willie ever recorded. Glenn Campbell's legacy deserves more reverence than it sometimes gets.
Where the lights are shining on me.
But the next song on this list was built on something even more personal, written by a woman who had every reason to stay quiet and chose to speak. Number 6, Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You.
If I should
Most people think of Whitney Houston, but the original is smaller, quieter, and somehow cuts deeper. A woman telling the man who built her career she was leaving and doing it with grace.
stay, thank you, I would only.
Written entirely by Dolly Parton, released on RCA Records in 1974, hit number 1, Country, written as a farewell to her mentor Porter Wagoner when she left his show to go out on her own. When she played it for Wagoner and told him what it meant, he cried. Then he told her it was the greatest song she'd ever written. The man she was saying goodbye to, that's country music at its most human.
But I know
Whitney's 1992 version became one of the best-selling singles ever, and it overshadows Dolly's original. But go back and listen, just her voice and her story. It hits completely different, more fragile, more true.
I'll think of you each day.
The next entry is pure storytelling, grabs you in the first line and never lets go. Number 5, Kenny Rogers, Lucille.
In a bar in Toledo, across from the depot.
4 hungry children, a crop in the field, A man watching his wife take off her ring in a bar. In the hands of a lesser singer, this is a soap opera. In Kenny Rogers' hands, it's 4 of the most gripping minutes in country music history.
On a bar stool, she took off her ring.
Written by Roger Bowling and Hal Bynum. Released on United Artists Records in 1977. Hit #1 country and crossed over into the Pop Top 5. Won the Grammy for Best Male Country Vocal Performance.
I thought I'd get closer, so I walked on over.
Rogers had been in the business for years before this. Producer Larry Butler kept the arrangement simple enough that the story could breathe. Rogers said he connected to the quiet desperation in the lyric before he finished the first verse.
I sat down and asked her name.
The outlaw crowd sometimes looked sideways at Kenny Rogers, too polished, too pop, but nobody could argue with the storytelling here. Great songs don't belong to one camp.
When the drinks finally hit her, she said,
The next entry almost started a war inside Nashville itself. Number 4, Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. Good-Hearted Woman.
A long time forgotten dreams that just fell by.
This song sounds like freedom. 2 men who didn't need anyone's permission anymore. You can hear it in the recording, nobody standing over their shoulder. That didn't happen by accident. They fought for it. Written by Waylon and Willie together, originally recorded by Waylon in 1971. Re-released as a duet on RCA Records in 1976. Hit #1 country, the defining recording of the outlaw movement.
Good life he promised ain't what she's living to.
Now here's the story behind this era that changed everything. By the mid-70s, Nashville had a system. Labels controlled what artists recorded, how they sounded, who produced them. Waylon had been fighting that for years. He wanted to produce his own records, pick his own musicians, make music that sounded like him, not what a label executive thought country should be. For a long time, the answer was no.
He never complains of the bad times or the bad things.
Willie's story was similar. He'd written hits for other artists, Crazy for Patsy Cline, Hello Walls for Farron Young, but Nashville never knew what to do with him as a recording artist. So he left, went to Texas, did it his way.
She's done, Lord. She just
Some in Nashville called them difficult, ungrateful. In interviews, Waylon and Willie told a different story. The industry wanted to make them into something they weren't, and they refused. The truth probably sits somewhere in between, but what nobody disputes is the result.
talks about the good times they've had and all the good times.
Good-Hearted Woman sounds like 2 men who found each other and realized they didn't have to fit in a box anymore. That tension between artistic freedom and industry control didn't end in the 70s. It's still happening right now. But Waylon and Willie kicked the door open. Country music was never the same. This song gets reduced to a bar sing-along, but listen to what it says: a woman who loves a man who doesn't always deserve it. Loyalty that asks for nothing back. Underneath the swagger, something genuinely tender. That was the outlaw movement. Not just rebellion. Truth. The next song came from a man who'd been in the business for decades and finally made the record that changed everything. Number 3, Willie Nelson, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain.
In twilight,
No big production, no strings, just a voice and a guitar coming from somewhere older than you are. This feels like sitting on a porch at dusk, watching the light go out of the sky. No hurry, that's exactly why it gets inside you.
I see her. Thank you very much.
Originally written by Fred Rose in 1945, first recorded by Roy Acuff in 1947, Willie cut it for his 1975 concept album, Red-Headed Stranger on Columbia Records. It became his first #1 as a recording artist, won CMA Single of the Year, 1975.
Blue eyes cry.
Columbia Records was reportedly nervous about releasing Red-Headed Stranger too sparse, too bare. Willie pushed back. He believed in the vision. The album was a massive success. Sometimes less is everything.
In the rain.
People jump straight to On the Road Again or Always on My Mind when Willie's name comes up. But this might be the truest thing he ever recorded. A song written in 1945 that he made feel brand new. That's real artistry.
And when we kiss.
The next song is one of the most perfectly built stories ever put to music, and it starts with advice you've heard 1,000 times. Number 2, Kenny Rogers, The Gambler.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for no.
You've heard this 1,000 times. It still works every single time. That doesn't happen by accident. Don Schlitz built a story so clean, there's nothing to add and nothing to take away. Rogers understood that. He didn't oversing it. He let the story do the work.
I met up with a gambler. We were both too.
Written by Don Schlitz, released on United Artists Records in 1978, hit #1 country, won the Grammy for Best Male Country Vocal Performance at the 1980 ceremony.
Tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window.
Schlitz had been trying to get it recorded for years. When Rogers cut it, Schlitz said that was the moment he knew his career was real. The advice in this song isn't really about cards, it's about life, about knowing when to push and when to walk away.
So at the darkness, till boredom overtook us.
Schlitz wrapped a philosophy lesson inside a barroom conversation and made it feel like entertainment. World-class songwriting, it became a TV movie, a Halloween costume, a boardroom quote, and somewhere in all that, the depth got lost.
And he began to speak. He said, son, I've made a life.
Sit with the whole song, The Dying Gambler, the wisdom, the moment he falls asleep, and you realize what just happened. Masterclass in storytelling.
Out of reading people's faces and knowing what.
And now, #1, the song that announced country music had entered a new era.
Hello, I'm Johnny Kay.
If you love real country music and the stories behind the legends, make sure you subscribe to Country Deep Dive. This channel is for people who truly appreciate the roots of country. Many of these country legends are slowly being forgotten, but their stories deserve to live on. By subscribing, you're helping keep their music and legacy alive for the next generation. And if these songs bring back memories for you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It's completely free, and it helps us continue sharing the classic country stories that made this music so special. Every story you see here takes hours of digging, piecing together history, and bringing forgotten moments back to life. If you'd like to support that work, you can become a channel member. It's just the cost of a cup of coffee, but it helps us keep these stories alive, and for that, we're grateful. #1, Ray Price, For the Good Times.
Don't look so sad.
This is where the 70s began. Not with noise, not with rebellion, with grace. Ray Price had a voice that could carry the weight of a room and make it feel light.
I know it's over.
Chris Christopherson gave him a song that asked one of the hardest questions a person can face. What do you do in the last moments before something beautiful ends?
But life goes on.
Written by Chris Christopherson, released on Columbia Records in 1970, hit #1 country, won CMA Song of the Year 1970. The record that introduced the wider country world to Christopherson's songwriting, and once that door opened, everything changed.
And this whole world will keep.
Christopherson was working as a janitor at Columbia Recording Studios while trying to get his songs heard. He left demo tapes on desks, sometimes cleaning the offices of the very people he was pitching.
Keep on turning.
Ray Price heard one and recorded it. The rest is history. Without this song, the entire 70s story unfolds differently. Christofferson goes on to write, Sunday morning coming down, me and Bobby McGee helped me make it through the night.
Let's just be glad we had some.
But it starts here with this quiet, devastating record about holding someone close one last time. It deserved every award it won, and then some.